that affect the life of the masses, you are going to actually have some responses. And that is what actually I gathered us, here today. So whether it's like that students union driver that goes with that students union bus, while all of us are busy loafing around and start engine, and then get every one of us thinking politically. That process is what has actually developed right now. And why we are here today is to concretize that process. We know quite well that there are obstacles in our front. There are obstacles we have to surmount in bringing, and organizing the masses of this country. It's a subjective issue. When we say a subjective question, it means it's a thing that it's scientific. You have to study it, and we have to use, our history, our philosophy, and our programs to guide us in this process. And that is what has actually started. This process has started months ago. Before the registration of the AAC, we have been having interactions. With the registration of AAC also, it has come with its own challenges. We have the Take It Back movement, and now we're having a movement called Alliance for the Masses Political Alternative, which actually is a vehicle upon which activists who may not want to actually take some full steps in becoming carrying members of the political movement as of now, but actually want to intervene. This movement is actually to cater for that, for those hungries. It's an attempt to unite all of us around a single issue, and it is not an issue that lacks programs, and that's why we have to agree on key programs upon which we are all coming together. Programs and methods need to actually be developed. That's the essence of this meeting today. This meeting is a unification meeting. This meeting is to further our political interest, and we cannot overemphasize the need for this kind of a process today. We cannot. On one side today, what are the options that we have that the masses have chosen to pick from? On one side, you have the BDP, completely worthless. On the other side, you have the APC, completely worthless. All of them are actually singing the same tunes. And therefore, the options of the masses need to actually be presented today in the most dynamic, the most creative manner, the most decisive manner. We need to actually we all need to actually get involved in changing, the society. That's the preamble to what we are actually gathered here for today. This is a continuation of the meeting that we have started since October, and we will see we have more meetings. And Congress should take note of the fact that come November 18th, active campaign, ban on active campaign is going to be lifted, and everybody will be expected to participate. The Take It Back Sowore movement and their part intend to actually go around the country, uniting all our forces, and preparing for leadership. And you also must take cognizance of one reality, that for us to take power in this country, it requires that each one of us must be prepared psychologically and politically, to actually provide the alternative. Without this process taking place, we are not going anywhere. And this is why all of us must start get united, get educated, get organized, and get active. Because without it, we are going nowhere. Tomorrow a general strike is supposed to commence on the minimum wage. As far as we are concerned, we are totally in total support of every struggle of the Nigerian working people and youth, and of the struggle of every oppressed. But we also want to take it further, because we also realize that all the problems are political. The issue of the minimum wage, which of course we also raise them, as we are raising the issue of the minimum wage, we are also emphasizing the need for a maximum wage. These are concrete issues that only when we take political power can we actually, end this regime of attacks. And this is just one of the various aspects that we tend to actually concretely start addressing using, this platform. So we welcome all of you today to this gathering. We are still expecting more participants. Some are just leaving Abuja today, but we hope they will meet us. Our guests and our other participants are here. I would like to hand over to the chair, to the moderator. We are still expecting our comrade Falano and Co. But as the meeting commences, we want to advise that all of us should put our phones in silence so that we do not disrupt the discussion. So, comrades, we hand over to you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Shady. We've heard from him, and we know very much that our lives are the most endangered in the country today because we speak the most dangerous phenomenon, which is the revolutionary truth. We are saying the truth to power, and we are fighting from all the ends. So, on this note, I want to first bring to the high table Omoyele Sowore, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress. And the convener will take it back. Actually, I was about forgetting that because I know that we are not in the public here. And it's a day to also not only discuss the programs, but to also fashion a united perceptions and perspectives of the revolutionary left. Because we have a big opportunity to take up the ruling class in a broader manner. I think the last time we had that was with Ghani, and now we have a chance to also go further, bigger and stronger. So I know that comrades are already preparing their political arsenals to take up the discussions on our bigger point. We are still expecting the printed copies of the program so that we can be able to circulate it and comrades can speak more from it. But we also want you to know that that program is not different from the program that we all know in terms of what we desire on the workers' movement, on the student movement, on the youth movement. We also need to have programs on what do we do if we take over political power, because those are the ways that the Nigerian masses will know that we are ready. We need to tell them what is to be done with the army, what to be done with the minimum wage, what is to be done on education, what is to be done on healthcare, and what is to be done on a lot of other issues. Coincidentally, we are in a period of the third decade that neoliberalism has been officialized in Nigeria through the structural adjustment program. So we are in a period where Nigeria is getting out of the recession and running fast back to that recession. We will know that it's not just running back to the recession, we are going deeply back to depression. Happily, the documents are around, and I think that comrades can go on perusing that. So while we will be doing that, we will be asking Comrade Omoyele Sowore to take up an introduction of why he will be leading the campaign for presidency in the country and some other positions on the manifesto.
Thank you. Thank you, comrades. I would have naturally loved to salute you in a revolutionary manner. But when you are in-house with your comrades, both the most senior ones, the established ones, the institutionalized ones, and the ones that are not only vibrant but dynamic, we'll keep it sweet and slow, or sweet and low, as we say. I don't want it to be too carbonated, because we actually have had a meeting here before, same venue, where the discussion was very clear. I came, presented my presidential aspirations at that time to the activist community here in Lagos, led by Comrade Falano on that day. It was well attended, and we ended that conversation with two simple requests, and that was that I was asked to liaise with other activists in the House and work towards finding a political platform for the actualization of that aspiration. And we went to work and tried the best we could to find if we could use any of the existing political platforms to actualize that aspiration. Unfortunately, it did not happen. But we were lucky that in the process of looking for a platform to work with, we found an opportunity to create our own political party. And that was how the African Action Congress was formed some 2 months ago. So I'm back not to tell any news stories, but to submit to the House that we have now found a political platform, and as of this moment, I have become a candidate. I'm no longer an aspirant planning to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But we don't want that to be used as a fait accompli. It is not to be said that simply because we have now had a political platform and I'm a presidential candidate, I should not report back to the House. So that was the reason it was decided that we will expand the platform to include so many of our colleagues who are sending their apologies when we had the first meetings, and some who were not even contacted at all, to be present today, not only to get the reporting back of the decision to run or the candidacy, but to help scrutinize, engage with so many of the activities that have happened, scrutinize and engage with the documentation that we have in place, scrutinize and engage with strategy, and also for those who are active enough and willing, which I'm sure a lot of us are willing, to help become part of the mass movement that will uproot the long-established political cabal in this country that has been holding Nigeria to ransom for the last 58 years. I think, and I believe that the best opportunity we have yet after 1999, 1999 was the time we took no chance at all. We had a chance, but I think we were misdirected. It's this time. Yes, Chief Gani Fawehinmi once contested as the presidential hopeful to turn Nigeria around, but as I've always said, Chief Gani Fawehinmi came before his very time. And a lot of people did not understand what needed to have been done because we were still going through the post-military lethargy, in my own view, even when Gani came. Not many people at that point even believed in transition program when Gani was running for office. Not many people could trust the system. And I'm not saying in any way that we have trusted the system enough to believe that it will deliver on our aspirations and our agenda for a progressive and prosperous Nigeria. No. But I'm saying that there is no process in Nigeria today, no matter how acceptable or unacceptable it is, that has not had our input for it to even make any sense or meaning at all. What am I trying to say? Every time there is a transition program in this country, either from the military to a civilian democracy or monontocracy, as I like to call it, they need the activists to put a stamp on it. Whenever there's an election, even when we are not participating, they still need us to say it is free or fair. Whenever there is a selection, as they do it, they need to watch our countenance to see if we are upset or not about it. Whenever there is increment in prices of any product controlled by the government, they need to hear us out. In the process, unwittingly, a lot of us have been built into this state of lethargy. Somehow, the activist community, not all of us, have become the neck upon which the rotting system is rotating by virtue of either direct connivance in some cases or unwilling participation. It is, I said this so as to describe to the House how I came to the conclusion that this is our best time, because we can radically move away from the established norms of helping them to certify elections and participate in the electoral process to the best of our abilities, and then take on this system take it over and use it in the interest of our people. Why am I saying that? Within a short time, and I'm saying we started out some 8 months ago, became a political party 2 months ago. As of today, in terms of being in public consciousness, without a private jet, without $1 billion naira or several billions of dollars, without a foreign lobbyist, without even an opportunity to have equal opportunity expression in the mainstream conventional media, we have become one of the most popular presidential aspirants and then eventually candidates in Nigeria today. I'm saying it because on my way here, I was reading This Day newspaper. And you know how hard it is for This Day to tell the truth, right? They admitted that a poll had just been held, and in that poll they said that 8 leading presidential candidates in Nigeria, and they of course named Buhari and Atiku as #1, which is an insult, but said that Sowore is #3. Yes, that is with none of those social political arsenal of see and buy, the Nigerian army, the Nigerian police, INEC on your side, the news media on your side, EFCC on your side, civil defense on your side, international organizations on your side, ambassadors on your side, everybody. We're just working based on raw Nigerian passion for change. Revolutionary change, and look at where we are. So I am very, very convinced that if we can take this opportunity and take on this particular moment to bond together again. I've not seen so many of us in how many years, a long time ago, but we have always been spiritually connected. If we can bond together once again, this is the best time to take on these guys and wipe them out of the system. I'm telling you, and it will be the last push. I met one of them today where I was coming from, one of these big politicians with APC. And he said, oh, we know you are very good, but you have to wait till 2023. And I said, the fact that you already know that we are good enough is enough for you guys to know that there's no 2023. Our 2023 will be our second term in office. And by then, yes. So it's fine, I agree with you that we'll wait till 2023, but that will be the second term of our tenure in office. They are already admitting that there is a national mystic in the air, as Bob Marley would like to say, and something is about to give. And I'm not saying it also, which is a way of wrapping up my initial. I'm not giving any particular direction to them. I want to hear you speak. This is a conversation between us. There's no big speeches here. But what I'm hearing from them is that, or what I want to say to you is that all of the efforts that I'm talking about has not even included your inputs yet. I've not gotten 5% of the activist community on our side yet. I have not seen any of you attended my rallies yet. We have just been saying hi, and the usual social media likes, In fact, I was worried about the activist community when I heard some of our activists the other day when I went to the Palace of the Ooni of Ife. An activist who taught me how to be rebellious was asking why I did prostrate for the Ooni of Ife. I said, what happened to activism? When we meet, we will discuss what has happened to some of our, wiring systems so that we can do a reset or recalibration. But the truth is that the moment we can get most of you on board, then I can actually start resting a little bit more too. Because I can imagine the energy of everybody in the house, and those who may not be here today, of the activist community, and those of you who are very good at marshalling and waiting for a moment that a young Nigerian that is passionate about progress, that's passionate about a revolutionary direction, that's passionate about prosperity, and even peace, justice first before peace, I would say, is the moment that the country has been waiting for. You will understand that regardless of how people may have treated you before now as activists, the moment we all born together, you see how much or how well, and let the world see how flawed the people have been leading this country are. And for those who are out there who might have questions for me, because I don't want to assume that all of you know me. I know probably most of the people in the house, but those of you who may not know me enough as to want to have or ask some questions from me, please feel free to have a no-hold-barred conversation and engagement, interaction today. Once we are done, like I said, my burden will be lighter. I have no doubt. But that will depend on how well we are done from today's meeting. I thank you very much again for coming individually and collectively, and I will say, Anuta continua, Victoria Sana.
Comments we have from Omoyele Sowore. We want to have a robust engagement today. And that is why this meeting, like you said, is going to be very critical. This is one of the most critical periods in this movement, in this campaign. And I know that a lot of governments are eager to take up the position. But I want us to make sure that our positions not only engage the programs, you get it, but give masterly resolutions and patterns. I trust that that will happen. So, please, you have to stand by. Come value.
Greatest Milander.
Greatest Milanders. Grace. Of the greatest Milanders. Grace. Greatest Nigerian people. Grace. We are here because of Sowore. He is our friend. At least we have been together behind the barricade. At least Debola, you remember? At least about 5 of us here. Our coming as a group, Europe, is to play the role that we have been playing in the past. We don't see a Sowore for president the way we are organizing it. It should not be the way we are organizing our pressure groups. We don't know who is the coordinator in mainland, particularly in Lagos Central. We of Europe, we want to take up that challenge. Most of the coordinating this process, let us have a solid link. I know that at least we have about 3,028 polling units. 397 mainland, 608 Shomolu, you know, if you break it down. So the first practical step, if campaign is starting on the 18th, is for us to identify who will be our agent in all these polling units. Aside that, 2 other canvassers in all the polling units. If we are lucky, we may have to get about 5 persons. But minimum, we should have at least 3 persons. We may not be part of the movement to maybe Akure or other areas. But in our area, and like my sister was just laughing when she was giving us these angles, we need any Sowore with there. We will continue to organize in your name, and maybe one of you, at least one of your rallies, maybe the last weekend of December, we are ready and we are willing to host. Aside people who are coming from outside, we meet minimally 2,000 buses on our party for mainland. So we just need give us enough materials to work with.
Nigeria, they use computer. The leaders of Nigeria, they use radio where they turn the knob.